PXG has just released two new drivers for 2023, the 0311 and 0311 XF Gen 6, and here's everything you need to know about both of them. One of the things that I find most interesting about the Gen 6 family of drivers from PXG is actually what is not in here. If you might recall, in the Gen 5 family, there was a silver tone added to the top of the carbon fiber crown, and that was an aluminum vapor coating that PXG was using at the time to stiffen the carbon fiber without adding any additional weight. That is not here in the Gen 6 driver. Also, if you might recall, PXG used to put in a thermoplastic elastomer honeycomb kind of a piece on the inside of the driver itself, resting it along the sole of the golf club. And at the time, that was used to soak up excessive vibrations and improve sound and feel. That is also gone. This design as a whole is a lot easier to understand and probably a lot simpler for PXG to manufacture. Both the 0311 Gen 6 and the 0311 XF Gen 6 are 460cc drivers, and they share a lot of the same technologies and features, but they do have subtle differences. Both of these clubs are going to have a titanium chassis, but a very large carbon fiber crown on the top. The real key for increased ball speed is going to be the use of a Ti 412 titanium alloy face. It's exceptionally thin. It does have a variable thickness to it, so it is going to be slightly thinner around the perimeter, a little bit thicker in the center. That is going to help to enlarge the sweet spot so that your mishits are not going to be punished with decreased ball speed nearly as much as they would be otherwise. But I think one of the most interesting things about the 0311 Gen 6 and the XF model is that they both have three movable weights that have been designed really as far out on the perimeter as you can possibly get. There's one in the heel, one in the toe, and one in the back position. Each of these clubs is going to come standard with a 7.5 gram weight in the back, as well as a 2.5 gram weight in the heel and the toe. But custom fitters are going to have access to a wide variety of different weights that'll fit into both of these drivers. So if a player, for example, is looking for an even greater draw bias, they can go with a heavier weight than the 7.5 gram and put that in the heel position. And that will encourage the face to close a little bit more aggressively on the downswing, decreasing the severity of slice and again, creating that draw bias. If a player is looking for a fade, obviously they're going to want to put the heavier weight out in the toe. By putting a larger weight, as comes standard with that 7.5 gram weight in the back position, it's going to really boost up the MOI. And that's a story that PXG is talking a lot about when it comes to Gen 6 drivers. These have been designed to be exceptionally stable. And again, with three different weight ports positioned so far out to the perimeter of the sole, custom fitters are going to really be able to dial in exact amount of forgiveness that any individual player might want. So that is what is the same about these drivers. But again, how are they going to be different? Well, the standard 0311 is going to have more of a pear shape in the address position. It's going to be a little bit more classic looking to most golfers. It also has a little bit deeper face, which many accomplished players like. If players are going to be emphasizing more ball speed, PXG says that the standard 0311 is going to probably be the way to go. For golfers who are going to be looking for not only more ball speed, but really want to maximize out forgiveness and stability, the XF Gen 6 has a larger footprint from front to back, and that is going to give it a higher moment of inertia, the MOI. So again, more stable on off-center hits, and it's also going to have a slightly deeper center of gravity, the center of gravity position being pulled further back away from the face. So this model, the XF, will generate a little bit more backspin, create a little bit higher flight, but it'll also be much more stable. Now, one of the other things that I think is also worth noting is the price. PXG made its bones starting about a decade ago by making very, very expensive golf equipment. We're talking irons that went for about $350 a piece, drivers that were probably walking out the door in the neighborhood of $700 to $800. It was really pricey stuff coming out of a period of time when golf equipment was being heavily discounted. People thought PXG was nuts. Times have changed, and the Gen 6 drivers are going to be sold at first for $499. When you consider that many of the drivers from other premium manufacturers are going for well over $500 and touching $600 without significant modifications. But it would certainly appear that PXG is not trying to position itself now as the most ultra premium brand out in the market today. So listen, tell me what you think about the new PXG 0311 Gen 6 family of drivers. Are you curious to hit one? Have you hit PXG drivers before? Give me your comments down below, and please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I've got new videos coming back out on my channel.